Hello, hello. Welcome to our weekly broadcast. Every week on Wednesday, 1 p.m. AST, we go live on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook to talk about, not Twitter, X, to talk about AI and search. I have a background in SEO. I have been in SEO for more than 20 years at this point. It is very hard to surprise me at this point, but I find at this time the most exciting time to be an SEO because I do believe we are the only ones who can figure out brand visibility and AI answers. If someone can do that, that's us because we have all that background of facilitating relationship between digital brands and customers who search. Now it's pretty much the same balance between AI connecting them to brands based on customer prompts. Very similar, but very different at the same time. So, with me today, and always, April, we share the same company, which I forgot to mention, Smarty Marketing. I'm the co-founder. April is our director of social media. She's here to ask questions, look at your comments, and actually ask questions that are not as deeply SEO as I usually talk about. Today is a very quick topic that has to be mentioned because we do try to make these episodes very actionable. So it's not just, okay, this is what's happening, but it's also, this is what's happening, this is why you need to know that, and this is what you need to do about that. So it is something very important for us not to just cover news, but also to tell you what can be done about everything. So today's topic is kind of technical, but it is important to know as well. It also reminds me of very early years of SEO when we were like, okay, you cannot use JavaScript, or you cannot use Flash, or you have to transcribe videos for Google to understand what the video is about. Now, for at least 10 years, Google could watch videos and transcribe them itself. It could render just about any JavaScript, so we kind of stopped worrying about that. It also gave us tools inside Search Console we could run to make sure that our JavaScript is well rendered and all the important information is visible to Google. So there was no guesswork as to like, can Google see that? There are some cool tools in Chat. I think that's one of the most valuable tools, URL inspection tool, when you can actually see what Google can render on your page. Now, with the emergence of AI agents who search on behalf of our customers and compile one answer, all those URLs in one answer, there is one problem that we were not expecting at any point to happen. Those AI agents or AI crawlers start coming to our websites and read our pages. Now, what you should know about AI is it's very resourceful, and there is even like a huge meme about not saying thanks to ChatGPT, because even that, it's a lot of energy, and that is very resourceful, and the company is losing money anytime we just randomly interact with ChatGPT without trying to do anything. So do not say thanks to ChatGPT. Now imagine it has to go to like 5, 6, 10 pages, read them, go through the content to create to sync all of that in one answer. That is very resourceful. So anytime it's having trouble, it will give up very easily. The question where they find those pages is a separate one, and I hope we will talk about sometime in the future how to get visited by ChatGPT AI mode. Is still a little mystery, but we know some correlations, we can tell, we have some studies, so that is a different question. So what happens when your page, your URL suddenly is under attention of ChatGPT? It goes to your page and it reads it. My expectation is that in a few months, if not weeks, ChatGPT will also be doing more on the page, and I have a funny story there. It will be completing registration forms. It will be scheduling appointments. It will be buying. So we are it is all coming. Right now, AI is very immature. Although scrollers are saving as much time as they can, they will not render your JavaScript. So, and because we were so much spoiled by Google, most of their websites have all those cute tabs, cute collapsible question answers. All of that may not be accessible by ChatGPT. So your job is to make sure that your page has everything that is important without in pure HTML. There is another level. You can also do FAQs as a FAQ schema. There will be a lot of, and I'm one of them, experts that will tell you always use structured markup, always use schema. In fact, just to be perfectly transparent and honest, we don't know if ChatGPT is paying any attention to schema. I would still highly recommend using it. If not for ChatGPT, then for Google. Maybe ChatGPT will at some point be more paying attention to that. So it's still a good and very easy way to optimize your page for bots and crawlers of any kind. But we don't know if it is being used by ChatGPT. So the best way is to actually make sure every important content that you have, all the important content that you have on your page, all the headings, all the answers, questions, whatever you have, pricing information, everything can be read, accessed, understood without use of any JavaScript. I do have a newsletter over at smarty.com that lists all kinds of Chrome extensions that can help you. So it's not too technical for you to figure out how to do that. I've been collecting them. They're mostly new on LinkedIn, on Twitter. I've been looking them and collecting them to make sure that I have a good list of those that you can use. There is one that you can actually that compares. This is how many text you lose behind JavaScript elements. This is what is not visible to AI agents, all with like very easy to understand. Okay, maybe that's a call to action that I really don't care if ChatGPT is seeing it or not. Then you can ignore that. If it's some important text, then something you have to pay attention to and maybe change the plugin that doesn't use the JavaScript, or maybe have a HTML version of the page somewhere below. So something to be done. I know it's not easy. I've been through a lot of redesigns. I know that it's easier said than done. Okay, get rid of JavaScript. It's not that easy if it's part of your theme, part of your design. It's actually a lot of work. Not many businesses have budgets, time for that. So at least having some HTML version of everything that's important on your website, maybe just getting rid of some beautiful, nice looking elements of your page and just showing it as a list, as a bullet list or something. Just make sure that it is important for ChatGPT to know. Some of your page elements may not be as important. Okay, do use schema whenever you can. Article schema, FAQ schema, authorship schema, organization schema. We have free generators of most of these types over at smarty.marketing. So just scroll down and you will see the free tools that we have. You can use those. Almost always helpful. It will never hurt your website. No harm done. But again, there is no 100% confirmation that it will help for AI agents. Now, when we are done with that, don't forget that in the future, there will be probably more technical nuances or specifications or integrations when those bots start interacting with our pages more. And here I have a cool story. I forgot who that was, but on LinkedIn, someone asked ChatGPT to talk to AI customer bot, those like those that pop up like, how can I help you? So it is possible to ask ChatGPT to like find out the price for that or find out when they ship that. And ChatGPT was interacting with that other chatbot on the side and couldn't find any answers and was very frustrated. And the end said it was not helpful at all. And I was like, why do you introduce them to one another? Like, stop that. They don't need to know there are other chatbots on every website out there. So it's a funny, it's funny, but I feel like it's much more into that. It's actually agentic web that is everyone is talking about. That's how they're calling it. That is a very near future. In the future, we will not care that much about human traffic or human interactions. ChatGPT will be coming to our website, read it, find the information, talk back to the client saying, okay, this sounds like a good idea, let's buy it. And the customer will be, yeah, make everything happen. And ChatGPT will actually go through all the steps after that. That is coming. So the first step for us is always keep that in mind. So for now, the best scenario is make sure that your page is easy enough for ChatGPT to understand and repurpose as the answer to the end user. In the future, though, I'm sure there will be many more things to keep in mind, like product feeds, integrations. There's some specific shopping carts that ChatGPT will or will not like. We will make sure to be on top of that and report you on all of these technical things and technical specifications and technical integrations that will be happening in the near future in our industry, because I said that many times, human traffic is dropping, but we are here to make sure your conversions are still there. You are still profitable, you are still selling. Yes, it was great to have human traffic. Some of that traffic could not buy, but they would become our subscribers and all of those cool things that we could do with clicks, even convert them into money if we monetize with ads or affiliate programs. It is going away. Unfortunately, that is the huge era that we all enjoyed, made a lot of money, made a lot of fun with. It is going away. The new era of optimizing for agents. That is what is coming. And unless you keep an eye on that, you may not be profitable in the next year or so. But we're here. Please subscribe and smarty.com. I will make sure to let you know when anything huge is happening in the industry like that. If there are huge integrations, or maybe ChatGPT will come up with some guidelines on how to make it easier for their agents to interact with your pages. We will be making sure it's not just our reporting, but we will also suggest some tools, some workarounds, plugins, whatever it takes. So subscribe and smarty.com. I know we have time for just a couple of questions before we have to run. And if you do have more questions, please post them in comments. As soon as I have time, a minute to breathe, I'll make sure to answer all of those. And you will get your answers right one way or another. April, let's do a couple and we'll wrap this up.
So I know in your newsletter you mentioned like disabling JavaScript, but are there like any disadvantages to having JavaScript disabled so AI can crawl your site?
No, I mean, do not disable it for everyone. Disable it just for you. That is for testing. Do not, and that's my big issue here, and I think that we will have more and more problems like that. So hopefully design development teams will be even in more demand very soon. It's not easy at this point to roll back 20 years ago and create a JavaScript free website. The technology of web design, of the, like, even the standards of how the website is supposed to look for a well trusted company have gone way beyond that, like, HTML only website. It's not, unfortunately, possible. So what I'm suggesting here is that you can disable your JavaScript on for yourself only in your browser in Google Chrome. Very easy to do that, but there are also extensions. All of those methods are listed in my newsletter, so andsmarty.com. So you can just test your website. Do you miss any important information without JavaScript? Because it will be hidden for AI. I don't think that it is time to redesign your website, and that is not that drastic measure. I do hope that AI agents and AI crawlers will mature sooner or later. They will be like human beings. Even now, AI solutions are launching their own browsers that their agents will be using. Perplexity has a browser. ChatGPT has a behind-the-scenes browser. Perplexity is also using some kind of third-party browser, which I forgot what it's called. So they will be loading your website without necessarily going as crawlers. That will be not crawl visits, but actual browser visits. So we will be evolving. For now, the most you can do is to make sure that your site has important information visible even when someone cannot read JavaScript. I think this is most you can do. I would not suggest redesigning. I would not suggest a redevelopment because I think it is a huge project and I expect things to change very fast. Even this, I know AI crawlers haven't been able to render JavaScript for like 2 years now. So it's been a while. But I think that when they have to interact with pages more, they will have to be more developed, or there will be other ways for them to interact, like through some kind of browsers that are built in the solution. So we are not quite there. So at this point, this is what you can do, and wait for more things to happen, which happen every week. That's why we have a newsletter and we have a subreddit and we have weekly broadcasts, because it's too much. It's too much going on. So we want to have some channels to update you on these things. And that is our motivation to keep track as well, because we have to talk about that all the time. We have to be relevant. So yeah, hopefully we will see more developed AI agents. And I think that the demand for completing the tasks through AI platforms will help all those solutions, ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, to come up with other ways to interact the websites that can render JavaScript, that can add things to cart, that can subscribe. At this point, they cannot, but I think the whole market is moving in that direction, because even now, and we've seen that research, and I shared that in my subreddit, that people are most likely, almost 80% of ChatGPT users prompt in tasks. Do this, do that, but not actually asking questions or doing research. They prompt in tasks. Sometimes those generate the code. Sometimes it could be compare these two products and decide which one is better, but it's always the task. And I think this trend is telling us that the future is that agentic web, when we will be selling to AI agents, not necessarily to people. And I'm sure at that point the technology will be more developed and we will not have to keep JavaScript in mind that much. But for now we do, and that is our job to tell you. If you want to be cited in the AI answer and or be part of the AI answer, Your best bet is to make sure the most important information on your page is readable without JavaScript with JavaScript disabled. And with that, thank you so much. I know this broadcast was shorter than usual, but I think it was also very specific. There's not much to say here. It's like this is what we need to be taking care of at this point. When it changes, I will let you know. So please subscribe and smarter.com. Visit us every week, 1 p.m. ST, for this quick actionable talks about what's going on in search engine optimization and AI optimization industries at this point, so that you always know what to do and what not to do. Thank you so much. Thank you, April. See you next week, Wednesday, 1 p.m. AST. Bye.
Bye.